Alrighty, excellent. Hello, welcome everybody. Hope we're all doing very well today. So we're going to be kicking off with a nice land battle. So we're going to be having some of the ODM guys, which are some of the best multiplayer guys in the world here at Total War Warhammer. And we're going to be doing the matchup, which is Tomb Kings versus Dark Elves. I think Tomb Kings and Dark Elves very strong here in the current land battle meta. So it should be really exciting. So welcome everyone. So we have Bastion. Welcome my friend. Hooray for the Tomb Kings. Thanks for streaming. No, you're very welcome. Mr. Muckluck, the man, the myth. How are we doing? And game needed a sooner DLC for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. I think that having a DLC soon would certainly be very helpful for the game. That's for sure. Right. So we're going to jump in with the ODM boys. Very quick chat about the matchup itself. The factions themselves, and then we'll be kicking off straight into a game. So it looks like at the moment, Dark Elves slightly favoured. Interesting stuff. Hey, gentlemen.
Hey.
So, quick question for the guys on the stream. Let's talk about the factions in the current meta. Would you say Tomb Kings and Dark Elves certainly up there? Would you say that there's certainly good factions for land battles? What's your thoughts?
Do you want to start, Anodins, or maybe I start?
I can start with Dark Elves then.
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, Dark Elves are pretty heavily in the meta right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are maybe part of the top 3, if not part of the top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that. I've been coaching some guys, and the Dark Elves do really well in so many matchups. They have very few weaknesses.
They have some still, but yeah, some units are overperforming.
Yeah, which ones would you say in particular?
Well, Skull Runners, like always. You have the Lords, and you have probably the less obvious, but still too strong is the Blix Sword. This unit is amazing right now.
Interesting. How do you feel about the 1,000, the cavalry, the Cold Knights?
It's good. It's good for sure. Not oppressive, I feel, compared to other units.
I'm not sure why, but when I play against them, they seem very hard to take care of. They seem to perform extremely well quite a few times if they're microed well. I just think they're a very strong unit right now. But yeah, Scourge Runners, Bleak Swords, very good. Big fan of Dread Spears. Yeah, I think overall they're also a really good faction. But what about you, Alfredinho? How do you feel about the Tomb Kings right now?
So, as it stands to me, Tomb King is pretty much a little bit better than in Warhammer 2, but still not like a fully a good first pick, to say the least. Like, I feel overall it's good counter, if anything.
Okay.
And it's a decent faction, but they're certainly not up to like Dark Elf style of Dark Elf top tier level.
Yeah.
Dark Elf, but it's it's a decent choice against Dark Elf. I don't think it's like a little bit of a 50-50, I would say, as it stands for me. But you have a faction that you don't really need, So in the best of 7, you can throw Tomb King against Dark Elf. And if you lose it, then guess what? It's just Tomb King, You don't lose much. While as for Dark Elf right now, it's probably the best first pick you can ever think of. It's probably even better than Katay, if I may say.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Tomb Kings, though, if we talk Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 3, Tomb Kings have always been relatively decent against the Elves. Is that a fair statement? I think they're always used as a counter to Wood Elves. I think they do okay here against Dark Elves, and High Elves okay.
They are struggling against
High Elf. It was always very hard for Tomb Kings.
Is it even harder with the changes to all of the faction prices, like the Lyrium Reaver changes and stuff like that?
You have the healing or the army-wide healing that is getting that is stronger, but you also have the cost reduction on the High Elves, and the rework on their passive ability. Basically, their matchup OS, I mean. But I feel like it's just it's still a little bit rough for the Elf. It's less rough because of Imrik mainly. Imrik is much more viable.
Right.
You have to think of him whenever you are playing Tom King. It's not always happening that you'll see him, but the thing is, the simple threat of playing against him makes it so it's actually a little bit difficult to predict and it's a little bit more difficult to build your army with Tom King.
Wait. You are saying that this matchup was for Tom Kings in Warhammer 2?
No, it wasn't the case.
Okay.
It was never the
Yeah,
case.
never been the case. Yeah, we agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Was afraid.
So, a couple of things in chat. So, Jason, how you doing, my friend? I believe that's Tree Tone. If you micro well, Cold One Knights can do really well in this matchup. Yeah, I agree, certainly. Loopy's coming in from ODM. Hot takes over here, apparently, with you guys. So, he's going to be hot onto you. What do you think about Corsairs melee in this matchup? Do you think they're good? Yeah, I could certainly see application. I think Bleak Swords are so good that you'd probably go Bleak Swords rather than Black Ark Corsairs. But, well, we'll throw that over to you, Hanadins. What do you think about Black Ark Corsairs in this matchup?
They can be good. I can see where you take them.
Yeah, I certainly could.
Oh, they are. It's not an. I mean, I guess if you take them, they will be good, but you can play without them without struggle too much.
Yeah, I think, you know, they're really good. You know, Skeleton Warriors, Nekahara Warriors certainly struggle with that higher armor value. Plus, they're anti-infantry, so they certainly bring some good elements to the battlefield. But I think Bleak Swords still bring what you need, right?
Yeah. I'm ready. So
Yeah, almost.
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll talk about your builds afterwards, just so I don't spoil anything. But I'm sure you guys know what you're bringing. One thing that I've not particularly seen in this matchup is 3 units that you've brought, Alfredinho. It's not one I've ever really thought about before, but it's certainly an interesting one.
I'm not playing something conventional, I'll be honest, but I think it works decent amount. So you'll see.
Yeah, I can certainly see.
If it doesn't work, I'll blame it on the build, I guess.
I'll blame it on Loopy.
Okay, I'm ready. We can start.
Awesome.
I guess we'll mute ourselves during the game.
Sure, if that's what you want to do, yeah. Alright, so very interesting here, guys. Something to really think about. So we have the Eyes of the Desert here on the right-hand side and Skeptral Stalkers. So coming in with lots of AP range. Only 80 range, though, so it's not super high, but certainly something to deal with these Cold War Knights. You know, heavily armoured, the anti-large armour piercing. There's certainly a threat here up against some of the constructs coming forward from the Tomb Kings. In the back pocket, Shades, always very powerful, lots of armour piercing, and of course they come in with Stalks, so they're always a bit of a threat. Crimson Cane, they're going to dive across the field. These bad boys have healing in combat with the Crow Feast, which is always really nice to see. Lots of early damage there on the Cold Blood Knights. Over on the left, we have the Chosen of the Gods, the Ushati Great Bows, and then in the sky, of course, Malekith on his dragon. Now, he's going to be nice, cheap, and cheerful here with the Gaze of Malice and Soul Stealer. So about 2.6k, I think, sorry, on his dragon. But I like the Carrion in the sky. Carrion, very high melee defense, good weapon strength. They'll certainly do some good damage in the middle, but nothing really to stop him from butchering on the Chosen of the Gods. Diving in there with Malekith. Is this brave? I think so. I think so. We drop back here with the Chosen of the Gods. I think we just blast Malekith out of the sky, but maybe trying to blob here for a Soul Stealer. We'll see. So, of course, we do have the double Scourge Runners in the middle. They're going to be firing down up against these Nekahara Horsemen. Definitely want to get these Carrion in the back on top of the Shades where we can. One of the drawbacks of the Shades is the fact that they're only going to be having 30 armor, so most things that compromise them will do really good damage. Nekahara Horsemen diving into the back. We see some shots down the line here of the Eyes of the Desert. Damn, should have fought Malekith with Carrion. You reckon? I could certainly see that being relatively decent. He's actually really tanky, though. He's really, really tanky. On the side here, Cold Ones fight up against Carrion. Now, Carrion are they large? No, they are small entity size, okay. But they are going to pin back the heavily armored cavalry in the backside here. So it looks like we're going to have Fate of Buna going down. Where is the caster here? So caster is going to be Archon the Black. Archon the Black here coming pretty standard. So Spirit Leech, Tombblade of Archon, the Staff of Nagash, and the Liber Mortis. The nice thing here about the Spirit Leech King is you pop the Staff of Nagash and that recools down by negative 30 seconds. So you go Spirit Leech, use your Staff of Nagash, bang, Spirit Leech straight again, and it absolutely nukes units. It's really, really strong. It's an old school Warhammer 2 strategy that was used a lot, and it was really quite hard when you were at that large unit size. It was very difficult to deal with. But it looks like here might will be done. Life leeching as well for the extra mana in the back pocket there when it's needed. But you've got to be careful here. We do see Arkham in the middle a little bit there on his own. Not too much protection in and around. Maybe the Stalkers here, the Eyes of the Desert in the back, could do a bit of work. So pretty even on both sides. Alfredino just falling behind. No, he's going to be catching up there quite nicely. Spirit Leech going down on Malekith, but of course there's going to be lots of healing there for him. Chariot's coming around the corner. Got to be careful. Archon doesn't have a shield. He can certainly get blasted quite heavily. Carrion beat dragons. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. It's not something I particularly have tested too much. How do they do up against the Crows of the Cane? That might be something you know, Loopy, more than I do, but I think the Crows might do quite decently there up against the Carrion, which is why I thought they've been brought. In the backside here, the Nekahara Horsemen, really good, very strong mid-tier cavalry here in Total War Warhammer. They're going to be the back compromising up against the Scourge Runner Chariots. In the middle, the Skeptical Stalker is going to be ready to fight in melee. They do have anti-large and armor piercing, so they can do quite well. Breath attack going down here on Archon. He moves just at the last second, but, you know, he doesn't have a very large hit point pool. I wouldn't actually mind seeing Malekith maybe coming after Archon. He's going to be faster. He can swoop down, do some really big damage, and then push off the caster here. But the Noxious Gas going to be giving all those reductions there to his skills. In the middle of the Eyes of the Desert, they still have quite a lot of ammunition left, but they're going to be fighting here and breaking the shades. Very nice stuff indeed. So, in the backside, we are going to have Bleak Swords, and we're just going to be pushing through there with the Chosen of the Gods. Not really getting too much involved, but I wouldn't mind seeing them bolting up against Malekith as they get chased off here by the Carrion. In the backside, we have some Scourge Runners doing what they do best. Anti-large armor-piercing shots flying through the sky, and they'll be taking down all these big Nekahara Horsemen. In the back, we do have some Dread Spears. They'll be fighting up against Skeleton Warriors. Pretty easy win from there. And it looks like we're going to be having the Eyes of the Desert fighting here up against the Crows of Cain. In the middle, Kobold Knights fighting with the Nekahara Horsemen. Relatively even fight here so far. Maybe slightly in the Tomb King favour. I think we've had all of the healing here. We should have a Realm of the Souls coming through. I don't think I've seen that yet. But that's something going to be in the back pocket. Just waiting here for the later stages. In the middle, looks like we are going to get the Dread Spears fighting up against the Skeleton Warriors. Skeleton Warriors going up against Bleak Swords. Not very good there for the Skeleton Warriors. And in the middle, it looks like we are going to get the Staff of Nagash. Now, lots of damage going down on Malekith. Can't quite see that healing cap yet, but he's got to be getting pretty close. He's got to be getting pretty close. So a couple of Bleak Swords going to be hanging around here in the middle pocket. Not really too much to support them. Still kiting with the Scourge Runners. I don't know if there's enough ammo here to take care of the Skeptical Stalkers. In the sky, the Crow's Cane here. Going to be trying to dive down. Looks like we're going to be blasting with these shotguns of the Stalkers in the middle as they just fire up against all these Harpies. But they dive down and they're going to be fighting really nicely here up against the Stalkers as we move in with those Chariots. Skeleton Warriors are going to be fighting alongside, and it looks like here the Harpies are going to fall down to 0 leadership, but you know, they can come back in a bit of a later stage here, maybe chase off an infantry unit and just get some nice healing. Harpies should be okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought with a bit of healing they should do quite well, plus pretty decent melee defense there. 48 is certainly nothing to scoff at. So in the middle, it's like we are going to be getting a Soul Stealer and a bit of damage going down there on Archon the Black. That's quite worrying. Still 8.7k there in the advantage of the Tomb Kings with a breath attack. Oh, just missing there. And now we're going to be in the crossfire. We have the Stalkers blasting up against Malekith. And I believe that's going to be GG's, I think. I don't think Malekith's going to come back from this. We definitely need to get the Harpies in and fighting with a bit of healing somewhere. Maybe fighting here up against the Skeleton Warriors. We see the Ushupti summon has been brought to the middle of the battlefield as we see the Bleak Swords chasing down the Chosen of the Gods. This is how I feel every time I play Warhammer. My Chosen of the Gods are basically marathon athletes. They're just charging around the battlefield, trying not to get compromised the entire time. But yeah, they're going to be running. And Malekith, negative 17 leadership. Is that going to change? He should have the high ground advantage here. Can I get onto Malekith? Malekith, negative 7. 85-5. No, I think that's him done. I think... Oh, he does return. He does return. 42 health. That is absurd. And it's absurd to think that he's returned on 42 health. Just one shot here from the Eyes of the Desert or some of the Chosen of the Gods would be excellent. Firing amongst the Bleak Swords. I believe that should count as artillery fire. Frightened? No, just under missile fire. I'm surprised it doesn't count as artillery, actually, because that ends up being more penalties to leadership. So we're going to fight with the Scourge Runners into hand-to-hand up against the Chosen of the Gods. They do have armor piercing, so they can actually thump really hard backwards if you're not careful. Malekith falls to a Spirit Leech, and then in the sky we are going to have the Harpies. Now, I wouldn't mind having the Harpies going after something relatively weak, but I don't think there's any boys here left to feast upon. Maybe some carried in the backside could be the option, but you need them in there fighting and supporting. Maybe Archon is the way forward. Now, not too much magic damage here for the Dark Elves, but we are going to be having the Liber Mortis, which is really nice from Archon the Black. That gives a 35-meter radius of 40% physical resistance and some leadership, which is highly needed there for the Tomb Kings. Really great game here. That's going to be GG's well played. You can see this mass rout will probably be the end. Spirit Leech going down on the Scourge Runners. Very nice there. Excellent stuff, I must say so. Alrighty. Let's move that across.
Oh.
Hey, how did that go?
Pretty okay.
So,
yeah.
Explain a little bit about your strategy around the Stalkers. Why did you bring those?
You move. I mean, it's a one-time strategy more or less, and I feel like Anodin's, when he saw my build, he knew there was something fishy going on. So I don't think 3 Stalkers is the way, because you want to you don't want to play around it too much. But I decided to do so regardless, just so I can play a little bit some pre-moves games with him.
Okay.
So if you move your wall army on your right flank, logically your opponent will turn to face you if he's on the back foot, and if he is the one getting rushed, because he doesn't want to have an overload on one of his flank. And if you do so, then he will turn closer to your Stalkers, so your Stalkers will be aligned and ready to fall for the rush. So technically speaking, I tried to do so, but it went all over the place. And thankfully, I was able to salvage it a little bit, because at some point, Anodins didn't have any cavalry, or not enough cavalry to protect his shades, and it was difficult for him then.
So, interesting, another question here that we had from Loopy. Loopy was saying that Carrions beat dragons. So,
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so obviously with Soul Stealer and all these kind of things. So if for people at home that may not know these kind of things in game, how many carrions does it take? How do you try and fight this? Because of course, you had Harpies on the field as well.
So you're not winning the fight against Malekith, but the thing is, carrions are paying more than their price. So it's good. Like if Malekith is getting slowed by carrions, like if he is getting occupied by your carrions, it's always worth it. Thing is, I guess I played carrions for that, but also for the fact that they got buffed.
Yes.
They were costing 425, if I remember correctly, and now it's
Yep.
only 380. So it's almost 50 price decrease, and for such units that is low cost, it's quite a big deal. So
Yeah.
and you saw also how they managed to play against cold ones, like because of you have the charge, so it's not going to be crazy, but you'll occupy the cold ones quite a lot. And just overall, I feel that for less than like for 1500, you have good. You have 4 units that are going to give you a lot of mobility.
Yeah, and I think, for some people at home, when we talk about trade value and things that are cost efficient, the nice thing about having the Carrion is they do fight against Malekith. They're going to get lots of value there on him throughout the battle, holding him backwards, doing good damage to him, and making sure that he can't use his mobile, very powerful dragon to get around the battlefield. And when we talk about that, you can initiate the charge. Obviously, the cavalry can't fly, so having your Carrion flying down means that they can pick when they engage, not the cavalry. The cavalry just has to wait and to see what the Carrion does. So you always get your charge bonus against the cavalry. And the nice thing about the Carrion, very high melee defense, very high weapon strength. So even though they've got good armor, they're still going to do good, consistent damage. Everchicken, how you doing? Thanks for the stream, guys. These details, matchup analysis are extremely useful. I'm glad. But yes, Haladin's.
I was about to say that he brought good counter to the Carrions with the RPs. It was a good idea.
Yeah, very good. I mean, do regular Harpies beat Carrion? I mean, what's the matchup there?
Basically, whenever you bring RPs, you always bring the Aura first. Then, if you need more RPs, I guess you go for more RPs. But it's not like.
Yeah, the area will destroy Carrions.
That's what I thought with a bit of healing. Yeah. Excellent. So we can see here for you, Hanadins, that Scourge Runners did really, really well. So really good value there, 1.3, 1,000 as well. Of course, there was lots of good targets with the Stalkers and Chosen of the Gods, but there was quite a few contracts to take down there. So what was your thought in the battle?
I mean, the Shades were a nice tool, but very hard to protect. I mean, on the paper, and on the paper, it's countering the Stalkers. But I played with 2 cavalry and 1 harpy against 4 Carrions and 4 cavalry. So that's very good to protect. And plus the summon, and Alfred used the summon and a cannon to block my 2 cavalry. So it means it leads him to being able to shut down the Shades. And from them, it was difficult. The Scourge made the job because they are easier to protect against the mobility because they can being saved themselves. And yeah, the Stalker are nice. I think we can show what happened if you can't, if you don't have anything to deal with them anymore. But that's a good unit, yeah. I'm not sure it's the meta. I agree with Alfred. I'm not sure it's the best way to go against Dark Elves is to take 3, but always a unit to consider.
One other thing, in terms of pure analysis of the game plan, I want to point out something. During the game, I made a critical mistake, but thankfully I got helped by a bug. Pretty much, you saw what happened. Like I tried to move around and expand and cover for. I was about to rush him, get some infantry on his rear and such. And by doing so, I separated my army into 2 groups, and it was pretty bad because I forgot I didn't have any Stalkers close to the Chosen of the God. I sent the Chosen of the God on the other side of the Stalkers.
Yeah.
Then it started to be pretty bad because I guess could have traded one for the Shades with my Chosens. I suppose it could have been a possibility, but thankfully the Malekith couldn't land since there's some bug with Dragon. but he's not landing, and he wasn't able to do
Yeah.
crazy
The
amount of
Shapti, yes.
Yeah, there are certain models at certain heights off the floor. When he tries to land, he can't land properly.
As long as you're fleeing from a dragon and you have enough mass, it looks to me it's always bad. But regardless, I guess outside of that, yeah, it was pretty alright.
Excellent. So a little question just for people at home, for you, Hanadins. Obviously, you took Shades. You know, Shades expensive, 950. You know, they bring Stalk. Is that why you brought them? You brought them for the Stalk. Could you have brought maybe some other units?
No, you bought them basically because they are the higher DPS units in the roster.
Okay. Excellent.
So if you, I mean, if you need to kill, I mean, chariots are bugged now, but if you need to kill chariots, if you need to kill construct and stalkers as well, getting range of the Boshapti, you have stuff to do with them. Can be nice against the Kepragard as well.
Excellent.
So no, that you have way to use them.
Great. Well, listen. Should we? Did you want to swap sides? Or do you want to stay the same? How do you want to do this?
Your choice, Hanadins.
Tretch will play the next game actually. He won't be invoke, but he will play. So
Okay, that's no problem.
either me or Alfred can go in spectate
Okay.
You want me to go in spectate, Hanadins?
as you want. Up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, I don't care. So your choice.
It's totally up to you, gentlemen. You play however you want to play. And
Okay, I will go in spectate then.
Then I'll give you the next game, okay?
Excellent.
Hanadins.
So for people at home, if you have any questions here for myself or the boys, do feel free to ask. This is, we want to continue to try to do the series that we started before Christmas, which is put on as many videos as possible of really fun matchups, so you guys can learn about the factions, learn about individual matchups, and not just learn about Dark Elves themselves or just Tomb Kings themselves, but how you need to think about each faction when you're playing against specific other factions. So if you've got any questions, do feel free to ask. Right, so does he know how to find us?
Yep, he's coming.
Awesome stuff. Ah, he's in. Fantastic. Of course, spawning straight on Bretonia.
Wait. Okay, I'll tell it as it is right now. I'm gonna choose Tretch. So
Okay.
he's wand. A little bit of cheesing.
Alfred, it's not Alfred playing if there is no cheesing in the arm.
Jokes aside, I forgot about such thing.
Is the hero you're taking, is it about the items that he has, like the scrolls of the mighty incantations, or is it the net of Amantok?
Yeah, no, you see, this means that you can do a little bit of a void lols, if I may say, which pretty much means, I mean, if you want, you can cheese the game by not being very slow on the attack and getting enough Wind of Magic very, very early. Oh, wait, it's only one uses. Never mind.
Yep.
Oh, that's so sad.
What, the scrolls of incantation?
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad.
Yeah, it's only one use
only one
since
use.
Immortal Empire. It was many.
So you're saved, Tretch.
I love Tretch's picture. That's fantastic. So, we have some questions in chat about some of these units. So there's going to be some of these coming now for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Oh, I tell you, we'll talk in a minute, Hanadins, because obviously don't want to. We'll let Alfredino finish his build.
Yeah, I will mute myself. I'll let you.
Nice. Good. Now he's gone. Now we can talk smack about him. Right, so a bit of a change in the Lord. So Malus Darkblade coming forward. Obviously, Malus is really powerful. What's your thought about the change from? Oh, obviously, I actually think that Malekith is the most powerful on the dragon. I think he's really strong. But what's your thoughts? Malus here good?
On personal opinion, I prefer Malekith just because I feel it's less them to play Malus. but both are very good, and both can like are a threat for the late game
Hmm.
that you need to take care of, and you need to have a plan for them. And that's the thing, because I mean, Dark Elves sometimes don't have to play either of these two, and it means you have to plan specific things for this guy, and the Supreme Sorceress can be there as well.
So,
And if it happens, you're kind of screwed sometimes.
mhm. And thinking about the Fire Sorceress, is this a bit old school? You know, obviously Fire Magic receiving quite a few nerfs. Is this a bit of an old? Is this too old school we're thinking here, or is this the way to go?
Banning Head and Fireball, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, like Burning Head,
The yeah,
Fireball. Is this
yeah,
a bit old school? Or is it still good?
it's old school, yeah, but it will work for sure. No,
Is Shadow's Magic not the way forward here? Like, you know, Pit of Shades,
I
Penumbral
mean,
Pendulum. I mean, just asking your opinions.
just yeah, Bit of Shade is good.
Hmm.
But with fire, you have Fireball as well,
Mm.
and it's more logic than I mean, imagine the previous game if I had Fireball to finish Arcane instead of Desperate Brace attack at the end. So yeah, that's gonna be good. I
So,
mean,
so thinking of the Dark Shards. So something I really love about the Dark Shards is the Regiment of Renowned gives you a little bit more range. You go from that 125 to 145, which means
yeah,
they kind of
you get 20
outrange.
meters.
Yeah, they get like 15 more range than Shades. I just wanted your thoughts. Do you see them being viable here? Is this a unit that you can think about? What's your thoughts?
Well, imagine them being in the last game played.
Hmm.
It would have been even worse for them because they have, I mean, Shades can defend themselves a bit.
Yes.
These guys can't. And you have, I mean, the only shield, I mean, they have Shield Breaker, but the only shields you will have to face out of some Tomb Guard are skeletons, and you don't care about breaking their shields.
Right.
So this unit is kind of niche. It's not a must-have. It can be good though, but
Okay.
I'm not fan of it.
No, that's fair enough. Not if he takes Tomb Guard. What was that for, Loopy? Sorry. Oh, Burning Head. Isn't Burning Head and Corsairs overkill in the anti-infantry department? Feels lacking in the anti-single entity and monstrous department. Not if he takes Tomb Guard. Yeah, Tomb Guard. I feel like if you take the Regiment Renowned Tomb Guard, I feel like a Burning Head could be quite nice. So it looks like here we're going to be going, Regiment Renowned Tomb Guard to the Kepra Guard, lots of Tomb Guard. Surprised no Halberds. Maybe for the shield, say. But and High Queen Khalida.
Yeah, that build is original, I have to say.
Is this a pretty meta pick here, or
No, I don't think so.
this is
But
an Alfredino pick?
he's trying to snipe. I mean, Light Caster and I have the Desert. He's trying to snipe the Lord.
Right. Okay.
I guess it's better on Malik against Malik than against Malus. So we'll see what happens.
So it looks like here we've gone more with Dark Riders rather than the Cold One Knights.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting because obviously they'll lose to the 650 cav, the
Yeah.
Nekahara Horsemen, which
Yeah,
are
they will
very
lose.
strong. Which are very strong. So we've gone for a
But-
more defensive structure here than I think for the Dark Elves.
He's not defensive. He's rushing. He just has 2 Dark Shards for just in case, you know. But his plan is to fully rush.
Okay.
He's just Dark Rider. I mean, both. Tolkien can deal with both Dark Elf Cavalry. So you have to make the choice, neither are bad, I guess. You just need to know what is killing your cavalry, so you can try to plan ahead what will happen in the game.
So a bit of blasphemy here coming from Loopy. Khalida looks like a waste. Listen, there are many things you can say in Warhammer, my friend. You can't say that. You can't say that. There are people here that know who you are. They know where to find you, and they will find you. You can't be saying those things here, mate, on live stream. You can't be doing that. So why is Khalida a waste? Talk to me why Khalida's a waste.
Me or Loopy?
Sorry?
Me or Loopy?
You.
I mean, it's not them. I mean, you have Battle Lord for sure.
So
That
she's got
if you
a few things like the Blessing of Asaph to boost that range, the DPS.
yeah, which Alfred did. Oh yeah, no, it did take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's too expensive for just buffing some range.
I could certainly agree there.
But I guess Khalida will have some. I guess we'll exchange some word with Malus in that game or Malikis. So
So
I guess there is a reason. There is a reason for
is the Venom
Alfred.
Staff maybe an idea? Is the Venom Staff rather powerful right now?
Um, I don't think I tried it,
So it
but
looks like there's
on
a
the
missile
paper,
spell.
yeah, on the paper it's 400 damage to the
100%
Lord.
AP. Yeah, it's 100% AP as well, so it's not
Yeah.
terrible. So he's definitely going for a massive Lord snipe here.
That's yeah. I mean, it says that it's weak against single combatants, so I guess it's more like
And that's the infantry.
yeah.
Oh, look at this blob. Absolutely
What is
fantastic.
Alfred doing?
I have no idea. So, what else have we got here? So, we've also got the Tomb Strike. So, one thing I can certainly see as a bit of an issue. So, we do, of course, have some Skeleton Archers. It's a bit of a shame we don't have the Dark Shards with shields here. Because they're going to get outranged by the Skeleton Archers.
Oh, I know what he's doing, I think.
What's he
It's
doing?
just, yeah, it just activated the... It blobbed up everything to activate the scroll, and then it will deploy properly.
Ah, to get as much as possible. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
that's,
I
that's
think
limited though, right?
yeah, that's limited. I think, but
Does
he probably doesn't know that.
I think that's limited to 5 units, right? He knows that, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it takes your 5 biggest units and then multiplies it by that. So by numbers.
Yeah, but that's... I mean, we'll see what happens. That's a funny thing, though.
Loopy says, "Come get me." Listen, people, you've heard it here. You've heard it here. So apparently, High Queen Khalida with the Venom Staff now is more than it used to be. So I don't remember it being 4, but I never used it before. Like Khalida was a massively rare pick. I saw a few people bringing her against Greenskins in Warhammer 2, but even then, that was very rare.
I saw her against Chaos sometimes, so you had something to sequel, but I mean, if Arcane was there, so it was a lose.
So in this matchup, you can see the Leechy Pusa Light is in the front. So he's looking for a net here on Malus. Oh, so looks like we're gonna be shooting the Dark Shards.
Yeah, that's a good target.
Yeah, very good. Oh, that's some
No,
lovely,
that's
lovely damage.
nice damage. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
If that had been down the side, we could have looked at some very, very strong damage there. Yeah, maybe wait for them to fire, maybe?
I don't know, it doesn't look like it's going through ranks. It's like more mortar style.
Yeah, so on the description it says... Yeah, it has shrapnel, so it's like it impacts. So yeah, so it looks like a mortar. Oh, interesting. So the archer's now going to be shooting, and there's so much DPS. Look at the damage on the Kepra Guard. There's so much damage coming from Dark Shards. It's scary. I think many people underestimate the fact that they fire 2 shots per volley, and it's all AP. So it just shreds tons of damage. So we've got the Regiment of Renown in the middle here, the Blessed Legion, doing the armor sundering on the Black Ark Corsairs, and they're taking loads of damage. So what's your thoughts on the battle so far?
Let's see. I feel like Tretch mobility is a bit late.
Yes.
On the battlefield, we should have either wait with the middle to before engaging, either move them quicker.
Yeah, so you can see some of these Dark Riders on the outside with some of the Harpies a little bit behind the play. But
We have the Fate of Buna somewhere.
Yeah, that's in the middle on the Eyes of the Desert.
I don't know if it will work.
I think it's a bit of a misplay, right? It's plus 25 models for the maximum damage.
Yeah, but in fact it works on more model with less than that. For example, against Longmas of Kate is very efficient.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And Longma, I mean, it put a midlife on them, so that's nice, I guess.
But it looks like the original renowned harpies in the middle, compromising 2 of the archers here from Alfredinho.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good work there in the pocket. So it looks like the Lord Choice on the right-hand side for Tretch. He's going to be fighting here up against some Tomb Guard. Maybe a bit of a mistake there.
No, it's good. We just need to have him safe
Okay.
and just need to have Malus with as much HP as possible for the late game.
So Alfredinho massively behind the curve on the damage value at the moment. So 3.2 up against 1.8. How's Alfredinho going to get back into this game?
I mean, by not losing Khalida first.
Yes.
And because if he's losing her, it's pretty doomed, and I feel like he will get a lot of damage from that. That's not easy. He's not in a good. He's not in a good posture right now.
So he's managed to get Malice stuck in the middle here with quite a bit of infantry. He does have the Ushopti summon. Could you use something like this here to maybe try and pin in Malice and get lots of big damage nice and quickly? Like, what do you reckon his way back in here is, if he has one at all?
I would have preferred to see what was the Venom Staff destroyers on unit. I would have preferred the summon on the Dark Shards on the right side of Tretch.
Okay.
Because the Ushati won't do anything against Malus. You can block him with that, but he's already in the melee fight. He's not chasing your lord or anything.
Yeah, so one of the problems is the Dark Shards here are just absolutely bolting the Tomb Guards, and they have so much armor piercing. They rack up value so nicely, and they're just going to do. They've already up to 14 kills here in the back. The other unit 16, 880 value already. So pretty good stuff. Do you think we maybe went a bit small on the Tomb King army? Maybe. Maybe not enough units to cover the flanks. You know.
I mean, you saw against me, Alfred had 8 mobility units, and in this one he had 1 plus and 3 archers to protect, so it's not working. You can't have that much. You can't have that much shooting units with not enough mobility and units to protect them.
So a bit of a compliment for you. This French accent is so smoothing. I love it. There we go. See?
Yeah, like always.
This is why you bring all the ODM boys in. You're gonna get that soothing French accent to come in and balance me out.
I mean, we are Bretonian, so
exactly.
we are just role playing.
So yeah, so just for people at home, you know, the difference in last game, there was 8 mobility units compared to the 1 this game, but of course there was the constructs could look after themselves in the previous game with relatively decent mobility for monstrous infantry, whilst in this game, you know, the skeleton archers, 3 of them and only 1 cavalry to protect just wasn't enough. You can see that is going to be army losses. Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate one there. I'd be very interested to see the thoughts of Alfredinho and see what he think, or how he think he could have played that better.
I mean, I could start changing the army completely. It will get us, I guess.
Yeah, so we managed to keep Malice safe, which was decent. 1.3k there on the Sorceress of Death. Good value on the Harpies. And you can see 980, 650, 550, 580, and 200 on the Blackheart Corsair. So overall performing pretty well.
I'm back.
Yes, you are. And Dark Shards also doing well. Really good stuff there for the Dark Shards. So, talk to us about your game plan. Tell us what you think.
He played it well. I have nothing to say much, to be honest. I think my lord, my mage, so it wasn't optimal.
Okay.
I guess the build wasn't optimal in many ways, but yeah, it was well done from him.
So you're looking at.
I also feel like the simple fact that I wasn't I guess I wanted to try the Tomb Guards because why not? But I didn't have any way to play against armor, so it went pretty sour pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So, for this next one, what I'll try and say for the people at home, should we try and go as meta as possible? Try and bring some really strong builds and see, and then maybe get some explanation behind why you're picking these units and such. How does that sound?
Sorry, what? Sorry.
We'll try and go nice and go pretty close to the meta for the next
Oh,
game.
okay. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't sure how efficient it will be, but yeah, I guess we've got our answer. Anodins will probably play next. I thought.
I think Lupi is going to stick in the spot, so maybe we have Tretch moving as Tomb Kings
Yeah, perfect.
and
fine with
Lupi
that.
as Dark Elf.
Excellent. You gonna come join us then, Alfredinho?
Sorry.
You gonna come join us?
No, yeah, maybe, yeah. I was. I'll be honest. I'm pretty exhausted from my day, but I might be joining you. Yeah.
All right, no problem. You let me know.
I'll probably stick around. Yeah.
All right.
Take care. Thanks for the stream, Logic.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so thank you very much for Alfredinho for playing, and then also, of course, Hanadins as well. You're going to stay around for a bit, Hanadins? Not too sure if he's there.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, like issue. So yeah, I'm staying for now.
Nice.
Most likely I will stay for a bit.
Awesome. So yeah, thank you, Muckluck. Yeah, so if anybody wants to come join the Discord, come join us logicians. Yeah, so we do all sorts of things like coaching. I do my own coaching, so I have quite a few students that I coach regularly. So if you want to come up, find some more details, feel free to join the Discord. And of course, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't know the gentleman here, you can use this time, Hanadins, to do a bit of a plug-in. Tell all the guys about ODM and the ODM channel.
I can say that ODM is one of the main clan of Warhammer, Total Warhammer multiplayer scene. And yeah, we are trying to host some events. Some already started in January. Yeah, we as a clan we are trying to make the community alive, to be competitive and such, because we enjoy the game and we feel like this game is deserving some love, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, you guys said recently you had some changes in your policies around the clan, and you're taking people in, aren't you, to...
Yeah, we changed the policy of recruiting people because, like, the reason behind that is to adapt to the state of the community, because we felt like what we did before wasn't working anymore with that, with the current state of the community. So yeah, we get a bunch of new players. Actually, we are already full, so we will need to close that soon.
Okay, yeah. So if anybody's looking then to play or join a very large clan like ODM to get some coaching and play with some really top players, my advice is I would get in quickly. By the sounds of it, I would get in very quickly. Oh, I like Loopy's build already. Ooh.
Is he doing?
So this was from Jason. So he's got Shades dual weapons, 4 Cold One Knights, a Witch Elf, double Harpies, and 4 Bleak Swords. Very interesting. And then Malekith, who is on yeah.
He's on Dragon.
No, he's not on Dragon.
No, he's not.
No, he's
not.
Yeah,
he's not. He's on Cold One, but it looks expensive.
He's expensive for being on. He can't be that expensive on his.
Yeah.
Has he got all? He must have all these items.
Oh, he's on chariot. No, he's not on chariot. What? Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not. He has the item, but I can't really see him.
No, I can't see either. That's very interesting to see that
Oh,
he's this expensive on the.
Okay, so yeah,
gold one.
he's having he's on call one, and he's having all his item.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And yeah, just for people, just so you know, down below there, you'll see in the chat, that is the Twitch for the ODM guys. And then you'll also be having their YouTube. So do me a favor, if you enjoy some of the content coming here from the lovely French voice, then please do go subscribe and make sure you follow these guys for me, please. That'd be really nice if you guys could do that. You know, just a little bit of love here for the guys that, you know, have given up their time to come to the live stream today and, you know, play some games and, you know, give you guys some knowledge back into the community. So for Tretch, we have Ark in the Black. Pretty common pick, I think. Really good kit. Liber Mortis, Staff Nagash, Tomb Blade of Arkan, pretty standard. Fated Buna, Spirit Leech, pretty good. Optimal pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick for sure.
Yeah.
But
Could you see a Cetra on horseback with the halberd? You know, anti-large. You know, maybe mixing with a bit of healing with some nice cheap spells.
I can see, but the thing is, against Modus, he will lose because Modus has 2 HP pool.
Yes.
And against Malekith, you have got to pick the engagement very well, but it can be a thing. What is good with Nekara Magic though is you can heal your army and you can buff it more.
Yeah, so obviously, just so I explain for the people at home, if you take cheap spells such as the Incantation of the Cursed Blades, you know, to obviously buff your troops, you have the Law passive, which has a bit of healing, the same as Life Magic, for example. So you could bring that, and then you can also bring the Incantation of Protection, 2 cheap spells that you can continuously keep spamming. And what that does is it just gives you lots and lots of healing for the Tomb Kings, which, you know, already have pretty decent healing as their faction passive. But yeah, I think with the Halberd, maybe with, you know, the Cursed Blades, with the bonus plus large if you overcast it, and maybe the Incantation of Protection, he could maybe challenge with some, you know, some monstrous construct support, maybe. What's your thoughts?
On King Halberds?
Yeah, or you know, maybe if you have some Ushopti as well, you know, you can take down some of their larger elements. You know, maybe dragons, maybe Malice as well. If you, I'm just wondering, maybe, you know, the idea if you didn't want to take Ark and maybe you wanted to take Cetra. Obviously, I'd assume Cetra on his own wouldn't be enough, so you would be expecting maybe some constructs like Ushopti Great Bows and stuff to support.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, if you are using the Great Bow is in melee, it's because you're in 8 game, so it's not really a plan.
Sorry, I meant more range. Sorry, yeah. So you'd obviously you'd be shooting and then.
But the efficient way of Tomb Kings to deal with large units are Boshapti Stalkers, and you can pick some. And I'm not sure of the melee constructs, because that's too good target for Dark Elves, and it's not looking great against Cold War Knights. So yeah, I would say more shooting units and maybe some guy with spears in a way, but I feel the shooting units are more important. Yeah.
And it looks like Black Ark Corsair handbows here. What's your thoughts on that?
Not sure for what he's doing. It's good. I mean, it's good against Carrion and Nekar Horsemen and such, but against Silver Shield of Infantry and potential Boshapti, it's kinda risky, I think. But we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, I think some of the concerns that I see for the Black Ark Corsair handbows is going to be the Blessed Legion and then some of the archers they have around the side. So for me, and do feel free to correct me if you think differently, this seems quite a Warhammer 2-esque counter Wood Elf build, where you see lots of Nekara horsemen, a good decent amount of skeleton chariots, a wide cheap front line with a support unit of the Great Bows, and then Spirit Leech coming forward from you know, kind of Spirit Leech spam coming forward from Ark in the Black.
If we are back on Warhammer 2, and if you play this against Wood Elf, I would say The build is good outside of archers and outside of the fact that you have arcane and horse, because it was very vulnerable on Warhammer 2. Now it's less the case.
Yeah, so
But no, don't play archers against Wood Elves, generally speaking.
So minus the archers, it was more like lots of Nekahara horsemen, lots of chariots, cheap wide front line of basic infantry, and then kind of Archon on foot with maybe a Ushoti Greatbow to support.
That was the thing. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the chariots here because they are built, so they will get a good fair charge, and then they will get stuck everywhere.
Do they not have decent mass for chariots then?
No, it's not a mass question. It's I mean, it's kind of complicated to explain why, but it's when they recharge or flank charge or are trying to get through units. The chariots are bugged in Warhammer 3 since Immortal Empire, and they get stuck instead of having charging animation, just try to run through.
Right.
Which is not working.
I guess other concerns as well on top of that for some newer players is also the Colbon Knights as well, right? Good mass cavalry with armor, anti-large armor piercing. And for those at home, that bonus was large means if they fight anything that has the symbol here for large in the top left, they're going to be getting that as weapon strength and then also melee attack bonuses when they're fighting those units. So you can see that plus 14. You can add that to melee and you can add that to weapon strength. So they're going to hit more consistently and they're going to be hitting harder, which is quite scary. So you shot your great bows. They're going to be settling the battle here. They're going to be shooting up against the Black Ark Corsair handbows. So they're going to be setting the pace quite early here in the battle. So let's say you're the Dark Elf player right now, and you're saying that there's you shot your great bows on the battlefield. What's your thought process? What's your plan now as the Dark Elves?
So Dark Elf, I mean, you got to move forward because of the choosing of the gods, but at the same time you want to avoid taking damage on the cavalry and the shade from the zone of the gods. But yeah, it's kinda complicated because you want to rush, but opponent's army is having less shooting units than you.
Yeah.
So it's not really in a good. It's not really. I feel Dark Elf are not in a good spot right now.
The Dark Elves aren't. Yes, I could agree. Yeah, so I think this is one of the problems. Having the Ushoti Greatbow on the battlefield is great there for the Tombkins because it really sets the battle. You know, as they're charging forward with the Dark Elves, the Ushoti Greatbows, they can kind of pick off as and choose what they please. So you can see they could be firing here up against the Colbon Knights, doing some really good damage there up against those 1,000 gold cavalry. But on the side, it looks like we're going to be throwing the Nekahara horsemen, taking quite a bit of damage up against some of the shades with the dual weapons. Bit of an unnecessary charge there, or do you think this is fine?
I feel it's early charge because he won't get be able to shut down the shades, but I guess he wants to stuck the Colbon Knights with the Arcane Summon. That's more a play maybe. Let's see what happens.
So one thing I quite like for people at home, something that I use as well, like Ark in the Black. How do you feel about Fate of Buna going down on the Colbon Knights? Do you think that's good value in this match?
Oh yeah, that's destroying Colbon Knights.
It's one of my
But I
favorites.
guess it doesn't have the Winds of Magic yet.
All right, so
it's doing like 2/3 of the units.
Yeah, it's really good value for money. Won't Dark Elves win the melee fight anyway because of the quality? Yes, but you also got to realise in the backside here we have support of skeleton archers as well. So although they're going to be fighting against the infantry, they're also going to be taking archer fire as well. And then we also have chariots to come through and cycle charge all of the infantry. So yes, the quality is there, but also quantity to get around the sides and start shutting down some of this range. So Bleaksword's here fighting up against these skeleton warriors, and I must say, from the ODM boys, what a colour scheme. Orange and red, couldn't ask for a better one.
Yeah, see the bit of the Colbon Knights on the right side, on the left side, sorry, of Lupi, is going to disappear.
Yeah, so you can see here, Faded Buna, really nice spell. So anything that has, I think, more than 24 models, it does full damage against. So I think it does 125 to 250 damage per second over those 24 models, right? And that's random per tick.
I'm not sure it's working exactly, to be honest. But yeah, it's a probably too strong spell right now, I would say.
Yeah. And you can see in the middle here, we are going to see a Soul Stealer popped actually on top of Arkan the Black. So anything surrounding him is also going to be taking lots of damage. So that's going to be some Skeleton Warriors there. So lots of good healing there for Malekith in the middle.
Oh yeah, but main issue for Tomb King is Arkan is surrounded by Colon Knights.
Yes.
And that's not what you want to do with Arkan.
So on the backside here, we have the Ushopti shooting the Cold One Knights. We actually have the King's Nikesh Scorpion Legion coming in from behind. A bit slow here. Maybe forward from Tretch. But he's going to be ahead on the value, which is quite interesting. Obviously doing quite a bit of damage here against these Shade Dual weapons in the back. Lots of damage on the Cold One Knights. But now we're in range. There's quite a bit of decent damage up against the chariots as well. What's your thoughts on the battle so far? Who's kind of taking the ascendancy in the beginning?
And it looks Tomb King well ahead, and especially now with Arkan safe in the spears.
Yeah.
So I feel Tomb Kings are doing well so far.
So for people at home, nice thing here about the King's Nikesh Scorpion Legion, obviously bonus to stats of being the regiment for renown, but they also get plus 30 armor. So I think it's like plus 25 armor or something. But Skeleton Spearman 20 armor, 45, a considerable amount more there from the Scorpion Legion, and also that poison. So making them a fair pick here, I would say. You could certainly see some good justification here for the Scorpion Legion.
The added armor is not like you can almost ignore it.
Yeah.
Because when you already have low armor, difference is not changing a lot. But when you have, on the contrary, when you have high armor, a plus 10 or even plus 5 is making a huge difference.
Yes.
So yeah, the moving from 20 to 45 is not a thing. It's not a thing.
I was more thinking about
it's there, but it's not really changing the thing. But yeah, the poison is more what you want.
So Children of the Gods firing over the top here, up against the Harpies, it looks like. So they're going to be trying to take down the Crows of Cain. Is that a good target? Because obviously they're going to be firing up against a lot of their own cavalry here as well.
I mean, they are destroying everything in the fight, so I'm not sure if that's what you want to do, but Wretch switches the target, so...
Yeah, so he's going to be going after the Shades, which I think is a very decent target here.
Yeah.
In the back, we have a summon of the Ushopti. They're going to be chasing down up against some of these Shades in the backside.
See them yet? Are they? Oh yeah, no I do. I'm just blind, I guess. Yeah, that's a good summon, yeah. And
then we have Skeleton Chariots just chasing off some of the hand bows here as well. So it looks like here Tomb Kings have enough mobility to be certainly shutting down the battlefield quite nicely. Even with 4 units of range, they seem to be not being compromised, shooting the majority of the battle. So for me, that always shows that it was a really good pick there from the Tomb Kings. They had enough infantry, enough mobility there to protect the pocket. So in the backside here, Arkan's getting chased down by Malekith though. That's a bit scary.
Yeah, that's... You need a bodyguard unit to protect Arkan here.
Oh yeah, nice chinned will spell there, going down up against the skeleton archers. Now, what do we have here? I don't really think we have too much to save Arkan. If Arkan goes down here, I can certainly see a flip in the battle, for sure.
It's the start of the comeback, yeah, I feel. Let's see what happened.
We have some mobility over here on the right-hand side. Need to get that back as soon as possible to protect Archon. It looks like we're going to be throwing the Chosen of the Gods into combat up against Malekith. I think that's a must here at this point. And then use that Winter Magic. So Liber Mortis down to protect the constructs here. And then, you know, obviously getting as much mana out against Malekith as possible.
That's a good play. But saving your lord considering the situation. But he's not safe yet, and he's surrounded by the
Harpies, yeah.
by the harpies.
It's Archon down to 1.6k. The Liber Mortis will give him some good physical resistances. One thing that was quite interesting for me whilst coaching with the Dark Elves, one thing they actually really struggle with is actually they don't have much magic damage on units. There's only very select units that have magic damage. So things like physical resist buffers are actually, you know, quite strong here against the Elves, which you don't see from the High Elf and Wood Elf perspective.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Though it's, I mean, first of all, not a lot of faction have access to that. But yeah, against high physical resist, you can be trouble with Dark Elf if you don't have the thing. But don't forget that Malus, that the Lord often has something against the spells. Like Malekith has the Soul Stealers, and Malus has some like his explosion things and doing damage everywhere.
So it looks
So you have solutions still.
It looks like Archon's going to be going down.
It's not over yet, but look, start to be close. Yeah, he's able to run. Maybe he's not. Maybe you want the Corsairs to shoot at him. No, they are not.
No, it's not the Corsairs are going to come after these skeleton archers here in the backside. Looks like the Harpies have caught Archon again here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, and rear charge, leadership. No, the leadership is holding, not coming.
Here we go. Negahara Horsemen are coming. This could be the savior that they need.
Yeah, though he's on a cooldown against next to Stealer, and he's gone, so he need to run away.
We did get a double Spirit Leech off there, which was quite nice against Malekith. He's obviously a lot less tanky on his dragon. So the Spirit Leech is really going to be hitting home quite hard. And the Shepherd's Great Bow obviously pinned him with the Skeleton Warriors and now just blasting him to death with the Chosen of the Gods. So let's talk about the Tomb Kings now. If you're the Tomb King player, what are you now looking to do to try and secure this win? What have you got to be doing outside of protecting your Lord? What's your win condition?
It's not easy to tell right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you want to shut down the mobility. So you want to shut down the Colon Knights, the last Colon Knights, and you want to shut down the Harpies. And I feel that Dark Elves are starting to be back on the game because there is a bunch of Shades and Corsair and Bows that rallied and are able to fight once again with Stone of Amos. So we might see a comeback.
It's a nice Shinville spell. That's a nice spell there. I think also like the value on the battlefield I think is a little bit deceptive. I think the value of the units left on the battlefield for the Tomb Kings don't quite match up with what's on the field here for the Dark Elves. I also wouldn't mind seeing the Crows of Cain going after a unit that it can heal up against. You know, maybe a cheap unit of Skeleton Warriors in the backside just to go fight, not take much damage, and just, you know, really maximize some healing. What's your thoughts?
Against the Chosen of the God, it's nice pick because you avoid them to shooting.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in there with the Cold One Knights as well. Another Liber Mortis to go down, so that added leadership and physical resistance to keep everything fighting. So it looks like we're going to be having the Hambos here, firing into the backside up against the King's Nakesh Scorpion Legion. Archon is going to get away, but he's going to have no support if he comes over here. The range is online and he could get bolted very quickly.
There's nothing to shoot him right now, so let's see what happens.
Does TK even have enough left to kill Malekith with the Corsair support and the Soul Stealer to kill Arkan? Does it have enough left? No, I don't think so. I think that the main one is going to be the Chosen of the Gods, but Malekith just has to focus them down. I mean, he does have healing cap in now. Yeah, we'd probably need to try and get a Spirit Leech off of Arkan if we can here on Malekith, but I don't think there's enough to kill him.
If you can, depends if you can. I mean, he needs to gain times to have the Chosen of the Gods shooting. Also, something with Malekith having his item is that he's having spell resistance against Spirit Leech, so Spirit Leech is less effective. Yeah, it's still good, but considering he can heal, he's doing less.
He's also taking some of that power recharge rate and the Windsor Reserves away from Arkan as well when he's in that 35-meter radius, which is quite handy. Especially for somebody who is like mana happy, like Arkan, who has a lot of Winds of Magic all the time. It's really quite nice.
I'm not sure he's having that much Winds of Magic because he used at least one Fate of Yuna.
Oh, I mean,
and
just
a
in
lot
general.
of Spirit Leech.
Just
Yeah, in general, he's having a lot because of the death of the life leeching and what's happening here?
So it looks like the last of the mobility going down here for the Tomb Kings. We see that the Nekar Horsemen are really struggling.
Yeah, there is 2 left actually.
And it's like the Chosen of the Gods, although they're trying to retreat, they are getting bolted by the Blackheart Corsair Hambos. 2 of the archers are online though. This is going to be a nice chill wind down the line. That's going to be a really nice chilled wind. That's really nice.
That's nice, but it's not killing a lot of models, so you still have the units ready to shoot.
Yeah, I think also that also takes away from a Soul Stealer, right? Which could be quite handy for Malekith in the late stage.
That was oh, is Malekith able to cast one more Soul Stealer? That's something we can't know, but if Lupi has enough Winds of Magic, it's something he wants to consider.
I see the Spirit Leech animation going down on Arkan. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
No, because
There's no caster.
yeah, Malekith only is the so
He's got to be
I'm tracking what was the target, but I don't know. Probably Malekith, I have to say.
Yeah, Malekith's not taking any damage though, so maybe it's the Harpies?
Maybe.
That was really... I've never seen that
that was funny though.
Oh, just like Tretch withdrew. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very, very close game there. Very interesting stuff. So a game that started so well for the Tomb Kings, where do you think it went wrong? What happened? What was the turning point for you?
It was not being able to take the coaching units of that. Not make them come back. Because like you had a lot of stuff getting shut down at the beginning, and then they at the late game at this again.
Sorry, mate. Your mic's dropping out a bit.
Now.
Say that again.
How is it now?
Oh, much better. Sorry, say that again. You dropped out a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel not being able to kill the routing units of Dark Elf was the issue for Tomb Kings. Yeah. Because we saw many things routing and then coming back later, and being very important in the late game situation.
So I think here as well, how did you feel about the chariots from the Tomb Kings? We saw 875 on one, and the other two coming, relatively under par. I think they're 950 each, right? Or is that the?
As expected, it's like you they would be very good if not very good. But
Mhm.
no, it's kinda hard to play them really. You need to micro a lot more than
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
Do you think maybe just coming in with some carrion here, maybe 4 carrion, and then maybe bolstering with some maybe more Chosen of the God or something might have been better? What's your thoughts?
Carrions are good, but on this build they would have been countered by Corsairs.
Right.
So and also by Shades, by the way, because they are infantry sides, and Lupi had the dual weapon Shades, so they will have destroyed the Carrions in melee.
Right, I see. So I guess that's the advantage of people at home. Obviously, you have 3 different variants of the Shades. You have the Shades dual weapons, which is an anti-infantry variant, and then you have the Great Weapons, which is anti-infantry and armor piercing, and then you have the regular Shades. And Shades already have good. They're kind of a bit of a hybrid unit. They are predominantly range, but they also bring really good melee stats to the battlefield. So maybe a little bit disappointed with the Kobold Knights here. I mean, they did get targeted relatively heavily, I must say. But I think, probably a relatively strong carry by the Crows of Cain and Malekith.
I'm not sure. I mean, one did get Fatal Villa, so you can't expect anything from it. And then the others, I guess they should have taken some value because of shutting down the chariots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't watch carefully. It was a hard game for them.
I mean, the Hambos did well, 950, 1.1k, and then 570, so pretty decent there across the board. Yeah, pretty nice match there, I think. I actually quite like Malekith on his Kobold mount. Actually, quite thought that was quite nice, actually. Did I
It was
cast?
a niche move.
Sorry?
It's a kind of niche, but it was a nice move from Lupin.
Yeah, I think there's I don't know how you felt. Well, him on the dragon obviously gives him a lot more health with breath attacks and stuff as well. But I feel like whenever I watch the dragon, I feel like people really struggle to get that involved in the areas that people want to get them in. Like landing mechanics and glitches and stuff can be quite difficult for the dragons. Just some thoughts and observation, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I cast Spirit Leech on myself? Yes, you did. Kinda. You got the Spirit Leech bug. Oh, I didn't know there was a bug. It doesn't do damage though. Oh, okay. Oh, it's so strange. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was a nice bug.
All right, gentlemen.
Next game is going to be
Sorry, you dropped out again, mate. Who's playing this one?
yeah, working.
So what I reckon,
Okay,
what I
it
reckon
should
we'll
be
do...
good.
Nice, awesome. I can hear you again.
Sorry.
What do you
So
reckon?
I will
One more
play
game?
against Trigger for the last game. I
Oh,
think.
against Trigger. Nice, awesome.
Yep. So you can kick Loopy out. He's aware you can leave us from now.
Get out of here, man. Dragon is bad versus TK. Yeah, I feel like it's really mobile. It's good with breath attacks. I quite like the application of starting to feel tired. Thanks for the stream. No problem. Thank you very much for playing, Tretch. Really appreciate it. And you as well, Loopy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I feel like the dragon has really great applications. There's also a lot of things that you bring as well to the battlefield that you pay for, like terror, etc. That doesn't really see much light of day. Yeah, just some things to think about. So we're going to be playing against Trigger. So I've not met Trigger before. Can you tell me a little bit about Trigger?
He's a French guy. He has been around in the French community for a while now. I think it was it's 1 year and a half now. Much that long, yeah. It is. I was his mentor from sometimes in the French Discord, so I know we know each other very well. And he's a good player, good guy. Yeah, what else? He joined ODM recently. Showed good things in the trial for tests and other tourney. Like he had some run against Green One. Like these two were playing a lot in tourney. Was fun to see.
Nice. Right. Okay, for the spell resist item. Yeah, very strong against very strong against the Tomb Kings of the Shore, especially if you're going to go with the Spirit Leech King. I still have quite an opinion. I think, even though maybe a bit niche, I still think Cetra could be quite nice. Cetra with the healing, the spells, that can certainly have good application. I also enjoy Malekith on the Cold One. Yeah, Malekith on the Cold One is good. I quite like him in this matchup. I could also see Malice Darkblade doing well, but both of them on the Cold One's quite nice. What's your thoughts about Loki Felheart? Could you see Loki Felheart doing well in here? Or is the
Loki's kind of meme.
kind of meme? Okay.
It's sad. It's sad, but it's nothing we can really do about him. At least on foot is hard to snipe, but no, because Spirit Leech is going to get to kill him.
Okay.
Okay, I will mute myself.
Okay.
For now, so.
Excellent.
But I'm ready to talk about my build.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Alrighty, so awesome stuff. Right, so it looks like here. Oh, so we are going to go Cetra here, and Curse Blades, Incantation of Desiccation. That's the melee stat buffs, plus Incantation of Protection, which is interesting. So 2 cheap ones with the Curse Blades and Incantation of Protection. It looks like we're going to go double Carrion, lots of Nekahara Horsemen, Meme Pulse. Oh dear, some screamy memes in the backside with the Kepragard, which is always a very strong pick. Eyes of the Desert, no Ushati Great Bows. Very interesting stuff. And, going pretty hard here on the Skellies. Okay, interesting. So from Trigger, it looks like we're going to be going the Supreme Sorceress of Fire, which is certainly the old school pick. Sorry, let me just check. No problem, Loopy. No problem at all. So Fire Sorceress here, Fireball Burning Head. Looks like double Cold One Knights with the Crows of Cain. Seems a pretty strong pick here. Triple of the Black Ark Corsairs, more Harpies, Dark Riders, and Bleak Sword. So still 3,000 in the pocket. Maybe trying to see if we can work in any range. What are we looking at here? Yeah, looks like we're going to go double Shade Dual Weapons. I think that seems a particularly strong pick. And then some more cheap cavalry. So 2 more of the Dark Riders and then 3 of the Cold One Knights. Seems to be the option. I'm surprised we are seeing so little Scourge Runners. They are left out more variation between battles, or they just aren't amazing as I thought. These catapults are very strong, I think. Yeah, no. I call them meme pults. I'm only joking. They are actually very good. Yeah. I also really like their takeover ability. So they give -8 leadership thanks to takeover, plus also the artillery shots as well. So you can get in the range of -16 leadership, which can be really strong. I think Dark Elves are quite wrongly given the idea of being an elf and having really good leadership. They're like okay leadership. They're not particularly strong. Like 56 leadership for the Dark Shards, 66 there for the Bleak Swords. It's not particularly strong leadership, I wouldn't say. Especially on like mid-tier units like Black Ark Corsairs, 66 is not good. So these meme pults could do quite well here. Harpies is really poor on the leadership. Wow, quite surprised by that. Trap crutch unit for people who can't play Dark Elves. Yeah, I think that I wouldn't take any more than 2 Scourge Runners maybe in this matchup, but yeah, you certainly could take them. My only issue being, from a 2 King perspective, is if they don't have constructs of good value, then you really struggle with the Scourge Runners. I think that Dark Shards are always, not Dark Shards, sorry, I think that Shades are always going to give you more value than the Scourge Runners are going to give you, which is why I think particularly here we're not seeing Scourge Runners so much. I think there are some matchups that they're pretty good, for sure. I've seen quite often double Scourge Runner, double Kobold Knight, double Dark double Dark Rider defense. You've got sort of 4 cavalry defending 2 Scourge Runners, but you don't really want to play solely around Scourge Runners. Maybe in a couple of matchups you can, but I think in this one perhaps not. So if we took this for example, we have the Scourge Runners here today. In this matchup, Eyes of the Desert probably being their only key target to fight against. Is it worth spending 2,000 gold to take out one unit that costs 1.3k? Maybe not. Sometimes you need them. Yeah, there are certainly certain matchups they're really good at, like for example Norska. Norska really struggle to deal with those Scourge Runners for sure. And there are some matchups they do really well in, yeah, 100%. Another one as well, like good mid-tier cavalry, such as the Nekahara Horsemen. Really strong, good mid-tier cavalry. Decent mobility, really hard to stop. You know, they'll beat down up against just your regular Dark Riders. They don't really stand a chance. You need Kobold Knights to fight that battle. So you end up having to protect them quite a long time. They're not going to protect your mainline infantry. And I think the fact that not Dark Shards. Oh, we went with Dark Shards in the end. Okay. That's interesting. I think Dark Shards just get absolutely wrecked by Carrion. I think Shade's dual weapons, you know, they look after themselves. But you've also got the Crows of Cain, Harpies, and the Supreme Sorceress in the sky. That's going to be on, yeah, it's going to be on a Peck Assist there. So she's got 105 speed with Arcane Conduit, the Kindle Flame with Fireball, Burning Head, and the Opal Amulet. Norska doesn't struggle with Scourge Runners, in my opinion. Ice Walls better than the Scourge Runners strat game. Yeah, I think if you went to a couple of Scourge Runners, I think they would. Hey, Strike Game, how you doing? But yeah, maybe you're right, mate. Maybe you're right. Maybe you probably know Norska better than I do. I think like Skin Wolves and Skirmish Cavalry certainly are being more expensive now. I think certainly struggle a little bit more than they used to. I mean, maybe I'm thinking more Warhammer 2. I'm a bit of an old school guy sometimes when I think Warhammer 2, like Scourge Runners used to just dominate. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. My idea here is to take Scourges, is that it gives Dragon Malekith a lot of freedom by countering Stalkers. That's true. You could also do that with Shades. To be fair, if you get Shades in the right area, they can certainly do that damage as well. Good damage on the front there up against the Bleak Swords. You can see that takeover ability coming in, and then if we look at some of the stats, you see going down to 26 leadership. So sustained damage, hit by artillery -8, and then discourage that's -18 leadership, and they were down to 26 there for a moment. So you can see why these meme polls do so well. Seems like it's good. I'm watching this stream then. Good, I'm glad, man. The Scourge are great, but not in this matchup. That's why, in my opinion, we haven't seen them so much so far. Yeah, I think they can get, you know, relatively comfortably countered. Just your regular Ushopti Great Bows can, you know, certainly do a better number on them if you're not hot on the micro. That's for sure. So Screamy Meme's going to be shooting up against the Dark Shards. You know, not a terrible target. So we start getting to the Dark Riders around the side. Harpy's now going to be collapsing in on the middle. Got to be very careful here of the Skeleton Crews. Only 20 armor and they'll die very quickly to Harpies. They'll get absolutely trashed. So you have to play defensively here with the Carrion. Harpy's going to dive in. Are they going to go for it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Just a bait here, I wonder. Harpies could fight against Carrion in the sky. Carrion are going to low down here up against the Skeleton Spearmen. Good use of diving down to the floor there. In the sky, the Crows going to be fighting here up against Carrion as we shoot with the Eyes of the Desert in the sky up against the Regiment of Renown. Really strong pin and trap there coming forward from Hanadins. Burning Head down the line up against these Skeleton Warriors. You can see that burnt for -8 leadership. Going to be helping them crumble and shatter there nice and quickly. Kepler Guard moved to the front up against the Black Ark Corsairs as we charge at the back here with the Dark Riders collapsing on the Screaming Memes. In the middle, Cetra, he's just going to be waiting true. Where's the Lord Choice here for the Dark Elves is the question. I don't see him here. Oh, there he is. So Supreme Sorceress over here on the left. She's going to be fighting up against the Screaming Meme Pole as they fire lovely shots up against the Duck Shards. So Catapult's still firing. We have some Skeleton Spearmen diving forward to come fight up against the Cold Ones. Looks like the Cold Ones are going to be wrapping themselves around the Eyes of the Desert as well, which is going to be a little bit of a problem there. Lots of value on both sides, that's for sure. But we can see that the Incantation of Desiccation, -24 melee attack and melee defense means they're going to die pretty quickly. We can see the Screaming Memes firing in the front, breaking down some of the Dark Shards. Burning Head, though, going across the Kepler Guard. Lots of damage here at the front. Lots of damage indeed. And it looks like the value here for Hanadin is going to be 5,200 against 3.3. So a good start here from the Tomb Kings. But can they keep that pressure up? Shames are hard to play, but can do super well. I like the Shades with the dual weapons. I think they do really nicely here. Eyes of the Desert in the middle. Looks like we're going to be breaking down some of the Cold War Knights. Also fighting up against the anti-large sniper. That is Cetra the Imperishable. So firing across the top, but actually we should get lots of damage here up against the Cold One Knights. Duck Riders coming around the backside. Skeptral Stalkers going to be ready to meet here up against some of the Dark Riders and the Nekahara Horsemen. They're going to be trying to fight in the middle here up against the Dark Riders. We need to shut down these Screaming Memes because they're going to do lots of damage up here against the Cavalry. Oh dear God, there is so much damage here going on in the front. Yeah, that unit is getting absolutely destroyed here in the backside. And I think this is really smart from Hanadins. Take care of the mobility. When the mobility is done, I've got to run logic. I keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Mr. Markler. You take care of yourself, my friend, and we'll be seeing you soon. But we can see here now coming up to the realms of the Ushupti. Lots of healing coming in the backside as well. But so much damage on the mobility. Very strong there. Coming forward from Hanadins. Take care of the mobility. They'll have nothing to shut down in the back here up against these Screaming Meme catapults. In the sky, the Sorceress. It looks like maybe a fireball going down here. No, it's going to be a Burning Head coming across the Kepler Guard, who actually have a fire weakness thanks to their regen. And then Skeleton Spearmen as well, which certainly will take quite a bit of punishment. In the back, Skeleton Spearmen breaking down here up against the Bleak Swords, but one volley there from the memes, and yeah, look at that. Lovely damage indeed. Lovely, lovely damage. So 8,000 going up against 5.4 here from Trigger. And overall, that's a pretty good performance here. Triple of the Screaming Skull catapults, doing some tremendous value. Shades have been doing well for me against VP. Yeah, very good against VP. I should try them in more matchups. Yeah, they certainly can do very well. I would have kept picking 3 Scourgers if I didn't see this. Definitely will value Harpies and Shades more now. Good, man. I'm glad. I'm really glad. You know, this is exactly what this kind of live stream is about, is to get some of the best players in the game playing for you guys, sharing some of their tips and tricks, and showing just how useful some of these units are, like Harpies, you know, really good counters up against Karen, etc. But if we look here, 880, 840, and 860 from the Screaming Meme catapults. Now you can see good value across the pitch, means that there was enough to cover all 3 of them. What I tend to find is if you bring 5-6 units of archers and you find that some get 200, some get 100, some get 800, some get 1,000. If you see like disparity between that level, what it normally means is you probably didn't have enough units, or you didn't control the battlefield well enough to get the value from all of them, which means A, you either took too many, or B, you didn't read the game plan enough. Maybe there was a flank on one side that was heavier than the other, etc. So I find here very good defense coming forward from Hanadins, a good value across the artillery pieces. 480 for the Tomb Guard, 1,300 there for the Eyes of the Desert. A very strong pick in this matchup for sure. And then 200 value from Cetra with, of course, his healing, his spells. And I really like the Overcast debuff ability, the Desiccation. Negative 24 melee attack, negative 24 melee defense. Just really allowed them to punish up against the Coldborn Knights. But you can see here, yet again, they can get focused down quite heavily. 600 value at the top, coming down to 400 value at the bottom is roughly what we've been seeing for these units. And yeah, it's really tough. 930 there for the Supreme Sorceress, and nothing really to challenge up against Cetra. Regular warriors at the front doing fine. A 380, 270 for the Carrion. 370, 700, 688, and 450 for the Nekahara Horsemen. Really, really strong units. Plus the faction healing passive there from the Tomb Kings just keeps them going really well. That's for sure. Dark Shards, they certainly suffered under the pressure, and that's the problem with them not being shades, is they can be seen. Without that stalk ability, they were just getting their cheeks well and truly clapped in the backside there, up against the Screaming Meme catapults. So very interesting stuff, and you can see, I generally think you're always going to get great value from Bleak Swords and Blackout Corsairs. So if you're somebody that's probably newer in the game, some things I certainly might recommend from a Dark Elf perspective is, maybe a bit of a heavier Blackout Corsair Bleak Sword push with some good cavalry. Probably, taking 2 Coldborn Knights, 2 Dark Riders, a Harpy with the Regiment of Renown, and then probably a Lord that can look after himself like Malekith, who has your Lord and all your magic all in one space. It's definitely something I would recommend. If you're going to take some units, maybe taking a unit or 2 of the Dark Shards, not the Dark Shards, these Shades, maybe even with the dual weapons might be quite nice. So if you do get compromised by Carrion, at least they can take care of themselves. It might be something along the lines that I would probably recommend for you guys. Something along that line. The reason being, the infantry will take care of itself. Your Lord and your Castles are all in one. The cavalry should do fine. And then you've got some Shades with Stalk and some capability to look after themselves. It means you as the player don't have to do too much micro. There's only a few elements on the battlefield that you really have to look after. One of the problems I feel like with Score Drones, especially with the newer player, is that there are a lot of micro and they're quite micro taxing to get value from. That's for sure. If you're not really watching where they're shooting or what they're doing, they can either get compromised quite easily and then shut down, or they can be shooting targets that they don't really get any value from. So just a couple of recommendations there from me. But yeah, really, really nice stuff in total. Don't know if Hanadins is here.
Yes, I am.
Oh, nice. Yeah, really nice battle. Loved the Screaming Meme catapults. What did you think?
It was a nice test. And I was impressed by the early shots, to be honest, but I feel you can dodge more than trigger things. Yeah, but it can be a thing. Apparently it's good, so why not? I'm not sure if I increase the did or but I feel in that case I was countering the build of trigger. So that worked very, very well, but it might not be the case if
Sorry, your microphone is doing a little bit.
sorry. Is it better?
Sorry, say that again. No, I can't hear you now.
Or is it?
Much better. Yeah, much better.
That's boring, yeah. So yeah, I was countering trigger builds most likely.
Yes.
And that's why it worked very well, but in that case it might work less well.
So for the people at home, no Ushopti Great Bows here in this matchup. You brought the Eyes of the Desert. Is there any particular reason why you decided to go Eyes of the Desert rather than going the Chosen of the Gods or Ushopti Great Bows?
Because I have 3 artillery units, so it means opponent will have to come to me, so I can take short range units that as you see, can go in melee if needed to help cleaning the rush units. So yeah, that's logical. I mean, if I have the Boshati,
Mhm.
it's one more you need to protect. If I have these guys, it's one more you need to protect my artillery, actually.
Yeah, because they've obviously got the halberds as well, don't they? So they're anti-large, armor piercing.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, well, I want to say thank you very much for today. I really appreciate yourself and all of the ODM guys coming on. Yeah, and yeah, just thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for all your thoughts and opinions. You know, it's really awesome here for the community to learn some really high level gameplay.
You're welcome. Thanks you too for making the stream because that's your content finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry
And
about
yeah,
that.
have a nice weekend, everybody. And sorry for the mic.
No, no problem at all. Thank you very much, man, and enjoy your weekend.
See you. See you.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to say it again. Thank you very much for all of the guys playing. It really does mean a lot. So what we'll do is I'm very quickly just going to copy that here and paste this in. So we'll put the ODM Twitch in here. And then we'll also put the ODM YouTube in as well. So do me a favor, guys. It's 2 clicks. Just click on the link, click subscribe. It goes really far. It really does go quite far. You know, algorithms, likes, comments, subscribes here, even on this one as well. It really does mean a lot. It really does mean a lot. I understand I haven't been around very much in this current time for me at this second. I'm in my exam period. To catch all of you up, but maybe if you don't know me, I kind of got ill for a year. I'm now getting back into normal life, but I had to split up I'm doing a second master's degree, so I had to split it up. It was meant to be 2 years, so I did my first year 2 years ago, took the middle year off, and I'm now finishing it now, but I'm right in the middle of my exam period. Plus I have 3 other jobs, so I'm trying to balance the masters plus the 3 jobs, and then also trying to get content on YouTube. So when February hits, I'm still going to be doing content in January. Wherever I get a moment, I will do content. But for me, February is where things will really kick off again. That'll be a lot more videos, a lot more live streams, and a lot more content like this. So, you know, please like, subscribe, and follow for all the stuff to come. Join in the Discord that was shared earlier, and I'll share it again. So yeah, please do come join the Discord, and then what we do, I'll quickly update you on a couple of things there. Let's copy that. There we go, paste. So there's my Discord. So for you guys that don't know, if you are maybe a newer player here in the community, I do what's called the Shortbeard League. It's a league for newer players. So you can come play up against other new players. The way it's run is you come join the server, tell us you want to be a Shortbeard. You'll play against myself and the admins. And what we'll do is we'll find out your rough level, and then we'll put you up against other people of similar levels, and then if you win your section of the league, you'll get promoted up to the very top league, and if you win that, you get promoted out of the Shortbeards permanently, and you can join the wider community. It gives you an opportunity to meet other new people. It's all private, so only you guys can see all of your matches, only you guys can be involved in that discussion. So, you know, it's not out there for everybody else to see. It's just me, the admins, and yourself playing the games, and it's just there for practice. It's just there to have fun, and it's just there to get better, so you have a community to grow in. So, you know, of course, feel free to join that as well. The last thing I'll say before I go is something I do as well is I do coaching. So I've got quite a few students that come with me on a weekly basis. Some see me multiple times a week as well, where we have an hour or 2 hours dedicated sit down, play, and I educate them on army composition, in-game strategy, all sorts of things. So if you guys do feel like you want to come do that with a one-to-one with me, do feel free to drop into the Discord and send me a message. So the Shortbeard is for everyone, since I've already been playing for 4 months. Yes, it is for everyone. So the only way you would not be allowed in the Shortbeards is if you played against myself and the admins and we decided that you were already too good. There is a cap where if we decide, listen, we think you're a little bit too good, then then it's probably a little bit unfair to others that are in. We were a little bit more lenient this last season. We just had season 7 of the Short Bid League. We're now moving into season 8. But yes, everybody is welcome to come and join, so please do. But yes, if you're a little bit too good, I'll let you know. And then there are other like intermediate leagues that I know of that we can send you towards, and you can get some more experience there. But yes, it is designed for newer players in the community. We have domination. We also have land battles. I think last season was just land battles, but if we get more domination interest, I will also put that forward. Because Human Boy told me not to sign up for his new player tournaments anymore. Well, feel free to come join us, mate, and Grutz, and then we'll see how you get on. We'll see how you get on. It also depends what level of new players that Human Boy has. Human Boy's been extremely active. So of the newer players, he might be having more coming in than me because I haven't really been doing as much content. So it very, very much depends. You know, Human Boy's pool of people will be different to mine. So although we'll be sharing quite a few people that watch our content, there might be some differences where he has maybe newer people that are maybe further down or newer people that are higher up. Yeah, exactly. There's no harm in trying. No harm in trying. So guys, yet again, thank you very much for all of your divided content. If there is any matchup that you want to see going forward, we've done quite a few. So I just hop it up here on screen just to give you an idea of what we've done in the past. But of course, patches do mean that things change. So like the last one we did was Slanesh against High Elves, but that was 2 months ago before the changes to the High Elves. We've also done Tzeentch versus Dark Elves, but also there was changes there for Tzeentch where a couple of more units got expensive, so it really changed the matchup. We did Chaos versus Skaven, and we've done more. We've done more. So do let me know if there's any particular matchups you want us to investigate. Give me a couple as well. Say, hey, you know, I want to do this, or this, or that, and then I can, you know, send it forward to the ODM guys, and we can see what we want to do. So yet again, thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And yes, I hope to be seeing you all very, very soon. Take care.